Low quality fan! It doesn't seem right. Not today. No, not today. You guys are high quality. The highest quality. You're like a sip of beer on a hot summer day. The first sip. Oh, magnificent. You're like waking up and going to work thinking it's Thursday all the ride in, and then you walk in and realize it's Friday morning. You're at Friday, baby! That's high quality. You're like sending your crush a text and they hit you back immediately. That's the kind of quality you like to see. Makes you feel good. That's high quality. That's what you guys are. Because I got tons of bad news. You already know about this. I'm late to the party. Season has been postponed for the Bruins and many other teams. I think this was the right decision to pause it for a little bit. Ain't that serious. It's really not that serious. We'll take a step back. It actually benefits us, this pause, because we were having to hold a bunch of players out, and we saw how that fucking went. December 27th is what our first game back should be. That could change. So, let's not hold on to that too firmly. I'm making this video to kind of let you know what's currently going on with the team, but also what is this week going to be for the channel. Now, I'm going to do a little thing maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day on jerseys. I'm going to pick a couple jerseys that people might want some backstory on or just ask questions about, whatever it might be. If there are any jerseys that you specifically want me to highlight and talk about, because I'm not going to do all 60-something of them. But if there's certain ones that you've seen that you want an explanation on or just want to ask about how I got it or if there's a story behind it, put it in the comments below. There's a fan of the show who wants to talk more jerseys. And you know what? He deserves it. He's a badass, so we're going to do that. And this is a message just for him. The Portland Rosebuds, a wagon. An absolute wagon. So, good history on you. Look up the Hamilton Tigers and what happened with them the year that they basically sort of boycotted the finals. I think it was 1926, I want to say, but I don't remember. I was pretty young back then. Anyway, so we're going to do a little bit of jerseys. We're also going to do a thirst trap episode. That wasn't my decision, but I felt my hand is forced. If there's any videos that you want this week, is the week to ask for them. Let's see if we can do it. Let's just see what happens, all right? Let's talk about this stuff. The Olympics, likely not to happen. So that's a bummer. I haven't seen a single report. I have seen reports saying, boom, done, we're not going. But I haven't seen anything that I could honestly say, all right, I'm sure that the Olympics have been canceled. I haven't seen any actual canceled for obviously for NHL players is what I mean. So the Olympics are likely not going to happen. I don't know any player who's going to put themselves through that potential of a 3 to 5 week layover in China where they can't come back. I don't know anyone who's going to risk that. I'm bummed about it. I like dream teams though. I like the idea of a bunch of younger players getting to fight their way up to the top and potentially win it all. That'll be cool, but the Olympics are more fun with superstars in them. It's a bummer to see that it went this way. Unfortunately, the Olympic break isn't very useful for us. The National Hockey League, I mean. The venues are pretty much booked up. They didn't plan a lot of, hey, if the NHL gets postponed, we get to use these dates in there. So the planning could have been a little better, but it's fine. It's fine. Zboril has knee surgery. That's a fucking bummer. He was showing some real promise, and I thought if you could get him on that second pairing with Carlo and have him consistent there, even the Zboril floorboard wasn't bad on the third pairing. I was happy with what he had going, and this is kind of a big blow. He'll be out for at least, if I had to guess, 6 weeks. There haven't been any reports on it. Mark Diver is the one who originally reported this on Twitter. I haven't seen anyone else give the details yet, but he's a reputable source, I would say. So I have a lot of confidence letting you guys know that he had this surgery. It's most disappointing when you think of it from his point of view, where he was finally getting some traction at the NHL level, and it looked like he could really be a mainstay, and this is a huge setback. But if he comes back later this season and looks good, great. I mean, get back into it. Come on, playoff run, right? Playoff run, high-quality team. My last big point is one that could change because the schedules will be adjusted slightly. But as it stands now, The Boston Bruins will have 56 games in the last 103 days of the season. That means the Boston Bruins will play a hockey game every 1.8 days. That's a lot of hockey. I think there's something that's going to be really important to remember throughout this season, because there's going to be excuses. Always going to be excuses. And I'm going to make some of them. 56 games in 103 days? That's an excuse. That's a pretty crazy workload. The unfair expectations of the Boston fan base. Sure, that's an excuse. But it's where you play. We are going to see this team this season, after this break potentially, walk in to an unfair situation. But the truth of the matter is, life isn't fair. It isn't. And the NHL is no different. We get to watch this team walk in to this unfair workload, these high expectations, the brutal criticism, blockade after blockade, hill after hill, mountain after mountain, they will face down this season. I know there are fans of other teams that will say, hey, we're going through the same shit. Great. Tell this to your fan base as well. We are going to watch this team push through the unfair expectation and try to meet the goals that we have placed on them. We are either going to walk away from this season looking back at a team that caved to all of these things. And sure, there'd be no shame. You would be bummed. You'd say, hey, that's a wasted year. That sucks. Ah, man, I really wish we could have taken another run with Bergeron. And we would hurt. It would hurt. Or we will watch this team brick by brick, step by step, build an unforgettable season in which they reach the pinnacle of this, the greatest sport on the planet. That is what there is potential for here. I understand how negative everything feels right now. I feel it. And yeah, I'm a little bit of a romantic, a little too optimistic at times. But we have the chance to build a season that none of us will ever forget, where they will face down everything in front of them and march on. The machine keeps churning. Keep fighting through. What a fucking season that would be. To have every reason to buckle and just get through the year. Not even care if they missed the playoffs. Oh, it was just such a weird year. There is a chance for some real greatness here. Some real legendary shit. And I, for one, think this team has the stones for it. And I'm excited to watch it. And I think you should be too. Go Bees!